Once again, we're staying on the theme of reusing content in AutoCAD in this chapter, but we've got another drawing for you to use. And this drawing is called wblock.dwg. Now, there is a command in AutoCAD called wblock, and it stands for write block, W-R-I-T-E, write block. What it means is you can write a block definition from an existing drawing into its own separate DWG file. So at the moment we've got wblock.dwg open, and as you can see we have a door block sitting there in the drawing itself. So that means that there's a block reference in this drawing for the door. Now, the best way to get to the wblock command is to actually just type wblock, or you can go to the Insert tab, click on the Create Block flyout there, and there's Write Block there. There's our wblock command there as well. So either way, type wblock and press enter, or go to it via the Insert tab. Now, I'm in the Write Block dialog box, and what this allows me to do is select a block that already exists in the drawing. So if I go to block there, click on my down arrow, there's my door block. So make sure you select door, puts it in the list. That means that I don't have to worry about base point or objects because AutoCAD knows all of that information from the existing block. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to a known location on my computer. So I'm going to basically extract the block as a DWG. Now, it's in millimeters, so the insert units I don't need to worry about. So if I click on this little button here, what I'm going to do now is jump into my pictures folder here, and you can see there's all my different files and things in there. I'm going to go to exercise files in there, and there's my reusing content folder. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to save it in this folder as door.dwg, and I'm saving it back as an AutoCAD 2013 DWG to make sure that all different versions of AutoCAD can read the file. So I'll click on save. So that's in there. There's my location. I click on OK, and you'll see a little flash top left corner indicating that that block information has been written to the DWG file. Now, here's the best bit. I can now give that door DWG file to somebody else to edit. They can let me have that edit, and I can bring it in to this drawing, my wblock drawing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to act as if I'm a separate CAD person somewhere else. So I'm going to go to Open. There's my door file there, and I'm going to open that up. So I've opened that up as a separate drawing. Now, I'm just going to double click on the wheel to zoom extents, and there's my door there. And I've got all of my little component objects. Can you see? So it is a separate drawing, but it's broken the block down into separate elements. Now, these are all on layer 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and I'm going to go to layer 0, make it the current drafting layer. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line from that endpoint snap there down to that endpoint snap there like so, and press enter. And I'm going to remove the arc like that. So that's my new door block. So I've got an angled line representing the door swing instead of an arc. So I'll now save that file. So if I save that now, that's all saved, and I can now close that. So that door has now been saved to its own separate DWG file. But what you've got to remember now is this block here is also called door. And you can check that by checking the properties. So if I select the block, right click and go to properties, you'll see the name of the block there is door, which is the same as the DWG file that we wblocked out of the drawing initially. So let me just hit escape to deselect. So here's the interesting thing. I can insert a block if I want to from a known drawing rather than the block itself. So if I now go up to Insert Block and go More Options, it takes me to the Insert dialog box. I can browse for my door. So what I'll do, I'll jump back in and find that folder, which is nice and easy. So there's my reusing content folder. I go back now to the door drawing here in the reusing content folder, and you can see it previews what I've got in that door DWG file. Remember, I removed the arc and put the straight line in. So if I now go open, can you see it's taken me to the path where the door DWG file is? Insertion point I will specify on the screen. I will leave everything else as it is. I want the scale to be 1, the rotation to be 0. I don't need to explode it, so I won't tick the box. Watch what happens when I click on OK. I redefine the block because there's already a door block in the drawing. But I'm redefining the door block from the wblocked.dwg file this time, instead of a block reference that already exists in the wblock.dwg file. So if I redefine that block, you can see that the existing block takes on board the straight line, and I've got a new block that obviously has the straight line as well. And that's how you can doubly block out block information from a drawing, put it into its own separate DWG file, make the changes, and then bring the drawing back in. It's a really useful tool if you want somebody else to work on a block, change the block, and then give it back to you. So that's your wblock command for reusing content in your AutoCAD drawings.